Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? I'm gonna go get a Diet Coke. I have a little bit of leftover coffee. It's such a nice night out tonight. It is 69 degrees. It's just really pretty and nice outside. And calm. I took a little nap with the dogs. I was gonna do a live stream tonight, but I got home from dinner and I just was kind of like, you know what, I'm just gonna lay down and relax with the dogs before Alex gets home tomorrow. And then he FaceTimed me. They were going to bed. They were really tired from being at the festival most of the day today. And so yeah, he said they're gonna sleep in and then they're going to go to have brunch and then they're gonna be home tomorrow afternoon. And then I do have a live stream tomorrow. Well, whenever you guys are watching this, I have a live stream on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the book club. We are talking about the Israel Keys book. It was such a good book. So yeah, my day today was just not super exciting. I really didn't get a whole lot done this weekend that I wanted to get done. I started going through the closet a little bit, started cleaning the bathroom, but I was like, you know what, I kind of want to enjoy my weekend. So I'm going to do some of this stuff at the beginning of the week, starting on Tuesday, because Monday's Labor Day. And I sat down and started looking at the camera that Alex got me, and I'm very confused by, I'm not confused by the camera, I'm confused by, like, how to set it up. So I think I'm gonna, I might have him look at it. He's really, to be honest, like not any more technological than I am. So I might have Tanya's husband look at it and then get that set up in here so I can start using that in the car. I was noticing today, not that I'm any kind of Rylan Adams vlogger, but Rylan posted something on Twitter about, with him and his sister, and it said that they were taking a vlogcation. And I noticed that he uses the same camera that I do. So anyway, got up today. What did I do? I went and got coffee, and I did a review at Starbucks for my review channel. I almost called it I should call it my Starbucks channel. It basically is my Starbucks channel at this point. And then what did I do after that? Oh, I talked to my sponsor for a while. Tanya texted me. She could not go to dinner with us tonight because she was taking the girls at the kennel to some festival. I actually didn't even talk to her. We just texted. And so she was like, I'm really sorry, but I can't go tonight, blah, 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 whatever. So she did that. And then I ran around and ran errands. My blisters are driving me crazy on my feet. They are starting to heal, and so they still absolutely look horrible, but they're starting to heal, and so they're like itching like crazy. So at the same time that they're like pulling because the skin is healing, so it's like hard to like flex my foot. So they hurt, but they are also like itching as well, you know? So I did that, and then came home and filmed some videos, and then I started getting ready and took a shower. I actually looked nice for dinner tonight, and met up with my sponsor. We went to Cheesecake Factory because she was at the mall anyway, and so we met there. I was gonna have the pasta. I ended up getting the Impossible Burger like I always do, and she got the Bang Bang Shrimp or something, I think. She's doing keto. And then, yeah, we just sat there for like 2 hours and we talked and laughed and talked and laughed. It was fun. We had a good time. And then afterwards, I came home, and that was when I was going to do a live stream. And I just decided that instead I was going to, take a nap with the dogs. We had such a nice nap. I put this little blue blanket down for Boo Radley, and he just like runs right up to this blue blanket now, and he just like lays on it and gets in like this little circle. It's so cute. They're so sweet. pee-pee tonight at a different time that I fed Boo and Tucker. So when I left to go do my errands, because what I'm noticing is, like, I asked Tanya, I said, did you have any problem with pee-pee eating his food? And she said, no, none whatsoever. But at home, like, pee-pee will walk in and see what Tucker's eating, and then he goes down and he sees what Boo Radley's eating, and I think, like, I think he's comparing the food and knows that that's what he used to get. And so he doesn't like it because he's comparing it. But see, when he was at the kennel, he couldn't compare their food because they weren't, you know, in the same thing together. So I think that's why he just ate it. So today, when I left to go run my errands, I put his food down for him because Boo and Tucker, we crate them when we're gone. So I put his food down, and when I came back, he had eaten his food. And I think that might be the trick going forward, to get him to eat all of his food, because he won't eat. Like, when Boo and Tucker are there, he'll eat like a little bit of it. He'll eat like, like a fourth of a cup, but then he's kind of done. Like, he won't eat a whole lot after that. What else did I do today? That was it. I mean, it was just a relaxing day. Oh, I watched, I'm trying to go back and watch the Harry Potter movies, but I can't remember which ones I've seen, and so I just had it in the background today, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. They're all free on cable right now, and so I put the Chamber of Secrets on, and I was like, oh, I've seen this one, and I think I've seen the third one too, but I'm not sure, The Prisoner of Azkaban, because I've read the first 4 books. So I'm trying to watch all 4 of the movies before I start the 5th book, just so I'll remember and be kind of caught up on what happened. I mean, I pretty much remember what happened, but... What is the 4th one? Goblet of Fire? Isn't that the one where they have, like, the competitors from all the different schools? I think that's what it is. And Harry's name gets in there somehow. I'm almost positive that's what it is. So I had that on in the background. Yesterday I was watching all the Halloween movies, because, like, Halloween, not like the first one, well, the remake is free, but like Halloween 4, like Halloween, is it 3? Halloween 4 and 5, I think, are free on cable, which are 2 of my favorites of the franchise. The one with the babysitter, or the sister, where the sister's like, what's her name? I can't think of her name. I think her name's Danielle something, but anyway, I don't know what her name is in the movie. I can't remember. I don't know why I can't remember. I've seen the movie 9 million times. Jamie, her name's Jamie in the movie. And Jamie says to her something about, like, she's like her foster sister, and she says, like, sister, and she goes, like, real sisters? And she goes, well, no, we're not real sisters, Jamie, which is, like, such a cruel thing to say. And then the next one, so Jamie is Jamie Lee Curtis's, Laurie Strode's daughter. They never really explain, like, what happens to her, I don't think. I don't remember if they do, but maybe they do, I don't know, for why she's there. So I watched those 2 yesterday. You would think that that would scare me to be by myself and watch this, but it doesn't. I don't know why. I gotta get back on my program. My sponsor didn't eat any of the bread tonight at Cheesecake Factory because she was like, I don't need the bread, so I ate, like, literally, like, almost all the bread. I don't even eat, only like the brown bread at Cheesecake Factory, but I ate some of the white bread too. I don't love the white bread there, though. It was fun hanging out with her and just talking about stuff, you know. It's funny how, like, because, I mean, we've known each other for a while, but how still, like, when we're telling stories, like, people will come up that we know, that we didn't realize we know. And not only in sobriety, but, like, just like people that we've known in our real life. And she'll say something about, well, I have this friend, and I'll be like, well, what's your friend's last name? And then she'll be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, oh my God, like, I know her, you know what I mean? And it's weird how that happens. My sponsor's real into race cars. Okay, you would never like guess by looking at her. She wanted to be in my vlog tonight. She was like driving me to my parking spot, and she got in here. She was like, now how does this vlog thing work that you do? And I was kind of showing her some stuff. She's so funny. And so she's like this huge hat on, this straw hat and stuff. She's so cute. And so she's like real into like makeup, and she just bought a bunch of makeup when she was at Nordstrom, and very much like makeup, nails done, whatever. But when it comes to like recovery, she's hardcore. Like, she's absolutely one of the toughest people I've ever met in recovery. Not like tough in her attitude, but just like tough in her passion about it, and like what she does. And it's just, she just is so cool with how she just has devoted like so much of her life to it, you know? But then she's also obsessed with race cars and cars in general. And she drives like really nice cars. Like well, tonight, so she just sold, she had 3 cars and she just sold one of her cars. But so like every day she drives like this like SUV. That's what she was driving tonight. But she has like this completely like amped up Porsche Carrera that she drives that's like yellow and red. I mean, it's crazy, you guys. And she watches like all the races, and she goes to the race, and she knows everything there is to know about cars. There was something tonight on TV that she was like watching before we like got together, because she was like, well, I have to watch the trial. She kept on saying the trials or something like that, I don't know. But she was like, I have to watch this before we can go to dinner. So she was really into all of that. And like, she got in my car, and she hadn't been in my car, and she was like telling me stuff about my car that I didn't even know about my car. I was like, how do you know all this stuff? She's like, Peter, I know everything about cars. She's like, I was raised, because like her dad and her brother like loved cars, and so she was like raised knowing stuff about cars and fixing her own cars and whatever. She's like, yeah, it's really funny, like when I take my car in places, like people always try to like screw me over. And she was like, the battery is about to die. Thank God I have another battery with me. Oh, please tell me I brought it. I have a fully charged battery, I think. I don't know if it's fully charged or not. I shouldn't say that. And I hope I have it. Did I not bring it? Oh my God, I'm gonna be so pissed. Oh no, here it is. Okay. And I'm about to pull a McDonald's for this Diet Coke anyway. But she's like, yeah. She's like, they always want to try to screw me over and act like, because they think I don't know anything about cars. She's like, when I probably know more than they do. She's so funny. We had a good time though. She drank so much coffee. I mean, I love coffee too, but she just kept like, she just told our waitress, she's like, just keep them coming, keep them coming. Cheesecake Factory has really nice little coffee mugs. They're like those Crate and Barrel clear glass ones that you can see through. I don't know if they're Crate and Barrel, but they're like the ones that I have from Crate and Barrel. Okay. I've got that stupid Ace of Base song, I Saw the Sign or whatever, in my head, because I like downloaded it the other day, and I've had it in my head ever since. What are these people doing over here? They're like just kind of standing there being by the thing. Okay, I gotta change my battery. I need to get my change out too for my Diet Coke. It'll be $1.09, I think. Isn't it so funny that I know exactly how much it is? I need a dime is what I need. Did I find a dime? I think I have a dime right here. Okay, I'll be right back. Hold on. All right. I'm ready for my Diet Coke. Pumpkin spice goodness. Limited time pumpkin spice latte. Get that tomorrow. Oh, look at that Diet Coke. They have their beverages listed down there. It looks so good. Diet Coke, $1. Dr. Pepper, $1. Mixed by Sprite, Tropic Berry, $1. Coca-Cola, $1. Hello?
We can't take any orders at the moment. Our system is down for 30 minutes.
Oh, okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I wanted a Diet Coke so bad. Oh my God. And I wanted a McDonald's Diet Coke so bad. creaky Halloween door. Anyway. Oh well. Onward and upward, I guess, right? My mom used to always say that. She'd always go, creaky Halloween door. Look at the IHOP. It's popping tonight. Wonder what's going on. It's kind of warm in here. Do you know what song I have on my my iPod, right, or iPod, but iTunes right now that's playing in my car? Anchorage by Michelle Shock. Did you guys know that song? I used to listen to it in high school all the time. Where should I go tonight? Where should I go? I guess I'll go this way. Hey girl, you think it's kind of funny. Texas always seems so big. Do you guys know that song? I love that song. I don't really care for a whole lot of her other music, but that's like one song that I love. Is there another McDonald's that's open up here somewhere? I don't think so. The closest one's like 15 minutes away. That's open. There's one right up in here, but it's not open this late. Fries. Love the sound of a turn signal. I don't really have a whole lot to talk about tonight, in all honesty. I was like trying to think about that when I was like getting the dogs ready and I was like getting ready to leave. I was like, what should I talk about tonight? What should I talk about tonight? But I don't know. It was so sweet. Alex and I were texting. He was like, it's so weird not sleeping next to you. I miss sleeping next to you. I'm like, well, you'll be home tomorrow night. See, if that was me. No, they were drinking today, but if it was me, after the music festival, I'd come home. I'd drive home. Like, if I was that close. Like, if we go to Chicago, like, I don't like to stay, like, an entire weekend. Louisville's the same way. So I always, you know, like, we'll go for the night or whatever. We'll go, like, one day and then come back, like, the next night. We haven't been to Louisville for a long time. The last time that I was in Louisville, God, when was it? Well, it's been a long time because it was before the Connection closed down. Because we thought about going down there for the Connections last weekend. So there used to be this bar in Louisville, Kentucky called the Connection. And I used to go down there a lot. And it was really fun. They had like this huge drag bar with this huge stage. It was like a separate area. It was a really nice bar. Now they have Play Louisville, and I haven't been to Play yet. I always say that on here. There's like one person that lives in Louisville. They're always like, let me know when you're going to be in Louisville and I'll meet you out at Play. I kind of honestly wish I was in Chicago this weekend because Miss Continental is in Chicago. I've talked about it 3 days in a row, and I was actually watching all the recaps. It must be Friday and Saturday night are... It's kind of weird to me because, like, other pageants, like, let's say, Entertainer of the Year, for example, in Louisville, is like, I think they do, like, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, prelim, like, not prelim, but, like, the prelim to, like, the main night. And then Sunday is the final night. But Miss Continental must be different than that because... Is there final night tomorrow or is there final night... First of all, I have to tell you that when I saw all the contestants in a picture on the Miss Continental Instagrams, it didn't look like there were that many contestants. In the past, I feel like there were like 30 or 40 contestants. I hope drag pageants aren't kind of like fading out. But it didn't look like there were that many contestants. I could be wrong. But, so they did Mr. Gay Continental, or Mr. Continental, and his name's Desi Andrews, I think, or something like that. I think I looked up his profile a couple nights ago, because I was like, his last name's Andrews, and I was like, oh, is he in the House of Andrews, like, TNT Tandy Andrews was like the original like mother, and then it was Erica Andrews, and then Roxy Andrews, and who's in Miss Continental this year that was on RuPaul's Drag Race. There's a bunch of Andrews, but Tandy Andrews was the original. And I actually, it's funny because I remember Tandy Andrews being on, like, I think I saw her perform one time, and she was from San Antonio. I think she was from San Antonio. Erica Andrews was from San Antonio. She worked at the Rose Room, and but Tandy Andrews was on, like, they used to always have, like, back in the day, if you're my age, you'll remember this, like Sally Jesse Raphael and Geraldo and all of those shows, like Phil Donahue, they would have, like, female impersonators on there a lot. And I remember Tandy Andrews was on an episode. I remember she was on this episode and the chair broke. I don't know what it was that we were watching, but my old roommate and I, we were watching it. She just, like, falls down in this, she had, like, one of these high chairs that she was sitting in, and she passed away. And then Erica Andrews was my favorite ever. I loved her. And I noticed on my vlog, somebody said a shout out for Mimi Marks, because Mimi Marks works at the Baton in Chicago. She's fantastic. She's absolutely fantastic. But anyway, but I don't know what Miss Continental does. It's always Labor Day weekend, and Jim Flint, he was the one that started and runs Miss Continental. I think he started it, but he's run it for, like, ever. And he actually wrote a book, and I have the book on my Kindle, and I never read it, about his kind of, like, story of how he, like, grew up and did what he did. But anyway, so Mr. Continental was Friday and Saturday, because it ended tonight. So Miss Continental must be Sunday and Monday. Like, the final night must be Labor Day night, which I think is kind of interesting that they do that going into, like, Tuesday, because you would think that you wouldn't pull that many people then for the final night. But I guess if it was Sunday, not on Labor Day weekend, you probably would, you know, not pull just as many people or something. Who knows? I don't know. So anyway, it's going to be interesting. I love watching all the talent and stuff and seeing them all of them come out. I'm really, really happy that they're putting everything up on their Instagram story so I can kind of keep up with it and see what's going on. It's kind of fun for me. I love pageants, period. I had such a great time doing that pageant this summer. I don't, you know, like, the fun of it for me wasn't even so much just, like, judging the pageant. Like, that was fun, right? But it was so much more than that. It was so much more about stepping outside of my comfort zone and, you know, meeting some new friends and, like, people that I would normally not hang out with. None other for the reason except for that I just wouldn't have met them, you know? And we were all so different. And that was just, like, such a fun week. I'm such that kid, though, that gets real emotional still, you know, at the end. I mean, like, I remember, like, that night, like, driving away, I remember we were all sitting up in the hotel room, and we were eating pizza, and we had all of, like, because, you know, we had like, candy and snacks throughout the week, so it was all up in there, and we had, like, got pizza, and we were sitting there, and because we couldn't talk about any of the contestants until the final night, like, to each other. We couldn't talk and say, like, well, oh my God, what did you think of so-and-so, and whatever. So that final night, you know, we got to sit around and talk, and we all, like, brought clothes to change into, and we were sitting in, like, our coordinator's, like, hotel room. And I remember, like, I just had such a great week, you know? It was like, you know, I have my friends in sobriety, but, like, we each all have our own lives, and I have my husband, you know, and I have Tanya, and my sponsor, and she even said tonight, she's like, I want to do more stuff, because she's single, you know, and, but, like, I remember leaving that night, and I was just, like, so sad that it was over. I was like, I can't believe it's over, like, and I didn't even know how much I enjoyed it until, like, the second day, and I remember, you know, it was just a really good experience for me. And And I swear to God, I don't know why, like, it got me so emotional, like then or now, still, I don't know why, but it did. Now I'm about to pass this McDonald's and I don't even want to stop. But I just got in my car that night and I just wailed and bawled and wailed and bawled that it was over, you know? It was so sad. And I remember Alex was like, well, you can do it again next year. And I was like, no, you can't do it for like 7 or 8 years. Because like everybody has to like cycle through. Opioid use disorder. It's a disease. That's a billboard up there. It sure is. My sponsor and I were talking about that tonight, about all the people that we knew that had passed away and just some of the crazy, sad stuff that we've seen, you know. You know, thinking back on that, like this summer, we've had some amazing travel this year. But I already know that, like, when the year comes to the end, like, if I look back on 2019, like, what was the best experience I had in 2019, I know it's going to be judging that pageant. Just that whole week, you know, of... I just don't interact with people a whole lot, you know? Like, I interact with, like, the same 3 or 4 people, but... I don't feel lonely, I guess. But like, I live kind of like, other than when Alex is home, I live like kind of like a lonely life sometimes, you know? It's kind of a double-edged sword, you know? Like, I remember when I was working in treatment, you know, it's like, from the point that you clock in to the point that you clock out, it's literally like, people, right? And I can remember leaving and just being like, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed with just talking and interacting with people. I was so overwhelmed, right? But then you flash forward and look at my life today, and I'm like at home with the dogs, you know, and doing this and doing that. It's like, my life was pretty quiet throughout the day. And because Alex is just people throughout the day, when he comes home, he doesn't always want to sit and have like a 2-hour conversation, you know what I mean? And I think that's why he enjoys watching TV and stuff like that. So he can just kind of unwind. Like, I already know when he comes home tomorrow, he'll be done with people for a while. That's just kind of how he is. Like, he'll get home tomorrow and he'll be like, I want to go to bed. He'll go to bed at like 6 or 7 tomorrow evening. True story. I am going back on my program at the beginning of the week, and I have been craving pasta. I mean to tell you, before we left for Las Vegas, and I don't think I had it in Las Vegas once. No. I've been craving it the whole time. I almost got it tonight. I almost got the 4-cheese pasta at Cheesecake Factory. So tomorrow night, I'm getting pasta. If he goes to bed early, I'm getting pasta tomorrow night. I'm going to bring it home and I'm going to watch it. I'm almost done with Grace and Frankie. Oh my God, it's taking me so long to get done with it. I think I just finished, I think I have 2 episodes left. I either have 2 or 3. I just finished one of the episodes. And then I'm going to start watching Orange is the New Black. And then I'm going to start watching Wentworth. And then I'm going to start watching Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I've got all these shows to watch. Do you guys watch, what is that show called? Oh shoot, I can't even remember now. Put in the comment section below shows that you recommend for me. I really want to get into watching more shows. I always look on the Prime and there's really not anything on there that I want to watch that bad. I think True Detective, the 3rd season came out, and I didn't even know, and I didn't even watch it, so it must not have been that big of a deal. And then there's also, what's the other show that I watched? It's not True Detective. What is it called? True something, though. It's It's so, so good. I watched the first 2 seasons. They like basically have the same cast, but the cast is different every season. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Oh shoot. It's super intense though. The first season, why can't I remember what the first season is about? I feel like it's like somebody gets murdered. Okay, it's with Timothy Hutton. And he wakes up and like his son is dead. Is that the series that I'm trying to think of? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Regina King is in it, and she's in the 2nd season. And it takes place in Indianapolis, and it's about a basketball team. I don't want to ruin it for anybody if you haven't seen it. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? They're always based on a true story, kind of. And that one was based on a true story. And that was really intense. And then the 3rd season came out, and I never watched it. What's the other thing that I saw on our DVR? I was like, I forgot that we have that show to watch. Now I don't remember what it is. I actually wanted to watch an Israel Keys documentary, and I looked it up because somebody told me it was on Oxygen, and I never watched it. And now I probably won't have time to watch it before tomorrow. I wish I was like Alex and I could just sit there and lay in bed for like 6 or 7 hours and watch. You know, like I would have just watched all the Harry Potter movies back to back. Like he's somebody that would just like sit there and watch them like all back to back, you know, or all the Marvel ones. Like I just can't do that. Like I just really, like I cannot sit there. I mean, I'm sure this doesn't surprise anybody, but I just can't sit there for that long and just not do anything. Like I really struggle with that. I'm sure that doesn't surprise anybody. But I wish I could. When people talk about Netflix and chill and stuff like that, you know, it's like, I don't relate to the chill part, I guess. But you know, I did do that when I would watch like The Keepers or Making of a Murderer or I saw this thing. I don't know what this, I think her name is, it's something chick, crazy chick or something on Instagram. And she does like imitations of people. And she did that Kathleen, the attorney from Making a Murderer too. And she's like, she does this whole thing. It's so funny. Kathleen Zellner, she has her nailed. And she does this whole thing and she's like, I'm Brendan Dassey. Brendan Dassey gave me an affidavit. She does this whole thing. I showed it on my live stream, the last one that I did. It's hilarious. She has got her spot on. I loved that attorney anyway. But like with that, or like with The Staircase, I thought The Staircase was so good. So sad, but it was so good. You know, all of those like true crime ones, like I had no problem like watching them. The Innocent Man, even, like I thought that one was not as great as the rest, but I still watched it. You know, like I had no problem watching those straight through and being really interested in them. The past seasons of Wentworth, Orange is the New Black, I can remember sitting, you know, on the front porch, and I would watch, like, with my computer or my iPad, I would watch Orange is the New Black, you know, literally, like, episode after episode after episode, and I just don't have that in me anymore. Like, I just don't. Like, I just cannot do that. I get so bored. So, I don't know. I'm also kind of in a reading slump right now. I need to get out of this stupid book that I've been reading. I keep on saying I'm going to listen to it, and then I start listening to it. I've downloaded so much music because, okay, so do you guys know what Shazam is, where you, like, tag music, you know? When I was in Las Vegas, I tagged so much music, and so I just bought all this new music. So I'm like, instead of wanting to read a book, I'll be, like, listening to my book. Which this book is so far-fetched at this point. So many people said that they loved this book. I have to say, this book has got so many problems in it. I mean, it's not problematic. It's just whatever. It's a thriller, but it's just, there's so much of it that doesn't make sense. Like, I'm so confused by it, right? And I'm just kind of ready for it to be over at this point. But like literally it's like walking through like quicksand. I mean, I feel like I'm just like going down with it every time that I'm reading it. I'm just like so bored of it. And so yeah. Well, you guys, listen, I think tonight I'm going to make this a short vlog, and I am going to listen to my audiobook. I'm going to try to finish it tonight. So I'm going to make this a short vlog tonight. I don't know how long it's going to be, 21, and I don't know how long mine was before. It's probably like 30 minutes or something, you guys. So anyway, a shorter vlog tonight, but I hope you guys are enjoying your Labor Day weekend. I hope you are having an amazing Sunday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, do not have other plans. Have an amazing Sunday. Make the most of it. Have the best day of your entire life. Do something fun today. Take a risk. Netflix and chill. Maybe I'll try it tomorrow, you know? And if this is up before 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, please come join us for the live stream for the Israel Keys book. That'll be 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, there'll be Mel and I over there. And if nobody else has told you this today, the only reason it won't be tomorrow is so Mel's family was coming to visit, and if her family ends up staying tomorrow and we can't do it tomorrow, we're going to move it to next weekend, but I won't know that till tomorrow. Okay, so anyway, and if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and say, I love you, that you believe it. I got so happy tonight. I don't know if he watches my vlogs, but there's this guy that I became friends with on BookTube, and he took a picture of himself and he put it on, like, I can't remember where I saw it now, but Twitter maybe, I think. But anyway, it was like in the background in the mirror he had written, and he was like you are worthy, and he had like all these affirmations. I was like, yes, that's what you're supposed to do. Yes, I love that. So anyway, but like I always say, if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And look at yourself in the mirror every day and say it, I love you. And most importantly, you know, well, on top of that, believe good things about yourself, and believe in the positive affirmations, and most importantly, pass it on to somebody else that might need to hear it, and let somebody else know how much they mean to you. And I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.